we got a chance to speak to one of the stars of Apple TV Plus's Dark Matter, the amazing Jennifer Connelly. This is an absolute pleasure. I feel like I've grown up with your work, so forgive me if I geek out a little bit.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you too. Dark Matter was an absolute ride, and I was curious as to what the biggest challenge for you was with regards to portraying subtly different versions of the same character. I mean, it's not like you're playing an evil mirror universe version of Daniela,
Mhm.
but you're doing versions that have been the victim of circumstance and decisions and choices. And is that fun? Is that harder than doing a mustache twirling version?
Well, I feel like there were there were some certainly broader strokes than Joel was able to employ in his different iterations of his character, by design, because, he kind of has to get away with it, whereas my away with being different versions of the same person, whereas my character, the only other one that we spend like a decent amount of time with is this character that we very inventively called Daniela too.
Right.
And she is, she's not married. She never had children. She is working as an artist. She hasn't experienced like a substantial loss like our Daniela one has. Um,
Yeah.
so she's much more financially successful. So there are all these like things in her life that have marked her in a very different way than have marked Daniela one. So it's kind of a broad stroke. It's not as subtle, but I did want there to be really fundamental characteristics that carried through with all the different iterations of Daniela. It was really fun to think about. It was a really fun exercise. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, very cool. At its heart, the series poses this one big existential question about choices and roads not taken and decisions not made. And I was wondering, when you're making something this heavy, does your work still change you in ways, or can you leave work at work?
I didn't feel that it was that heavy. I felt that some of it, and I felt that like Daniela as a character was kind of actually buoyant. Especially Daniela 2, I think was a quite a, enthusiastic and optimistic kind of person. And I think that Daniela 1 had that as well, although she was kind of tethered a bit by her grief that she had experienced. Um, but I I I I thought it was like I don't know, to me it was sort of kind of I loved it as a portrait of a marriage, and like a couple kind of
Yeah.
like sifting through these sort of quite commonplace questions and doubts and that people sometimes go through experience in a quite extraordinary way, that they're sort of that we're kind of showcasing them and exploring them and sifting through them and navigating them in a quite extraordinary way. So I thought it was actually really, really fun.
I was looking through your filmography and all the work you've done on TV, and throughout your career, you've got this broad spectrum of genre that you've kind of touched on. You've never narrowed yourself to any specific thing, and I was wondering how you make your choices because so much of it is so very good.
Oh, thanks. Material that I find like a combination of things. Sometimes you can't get everything that you want in one project, but like you try, either it's a filmmaker or actors that you want to work with, or the story, the writing is just great, the character, and in a perfect world, it's all of it coming together. So I guess, but most importantly, I guess it's to me, I want to feel like there's something that I can contribute to it, that I feel like I can, there's an aspect of the character that I feel like I'm excited to take on and work with. I'm intrigued by the character.
Oh, very cool. I think I'm all out of time, but thank you so much for
Oh,
yours.
okay.
And
Thank you.
I really enjoyed Dark Matter. I'm looking forward to that long overdue fourth season of Snowpiercer. So fingers crossed that comes
Amazing.
out soon. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Appreciate it.
Something happened to me. But you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Dark Matter is now streaming on Apple TV Plus. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Sound off in the comments. And thank you so much for watching.